So I want you to pay close attention to these two clips because they are going to form the basis of analysis and for this discussion today.
We are united to push for the political, economic and social interests of the people of Mount Kenya. We will not accept politics of intimidation. Kama mtu anataka kutusafirisha kwenda binguni, pengine Mungu atamsafirisha mbele yetu. Yes. Lakini we are not going to be intimidated. No. And anybody who sends attack dogs to insult leaders asking how many votes we got, open the server. What are you fearing? Open the server. Open the server, we verify how many votes. Kama ni mbili tutashukuru. What are you afraid of? You cannot continue to refuse to open the server and send attack dogs. And this is to William Ruto.
Kwa hivyo ile unity tunatafuta kama viongozi ni cosmetic. Kwa sababu wa Kenya hawapigani. Ethnicity is only in potential form. It is only politics that activates ethnicity. Watu wanachukiana, Wakenya wanapendana. So mimi ningeulizwa hata mazungumzo either waharakisha wamalize haraka ama wawachane nayo, juu mimi naona hii mazungumzo mingi nasikia huko Nairobi, mimi nikipima inaweza kosa kusaidia sana.
Now there is this third step in negotiation process where they say that at that step, you either come to an agreement in the negotiation or fail to reach an agreement. Okay? So meaning after reaching that third step, it is always clear what you have gained or achieved in the negotiation process. Now for this case of what you have told, that, you know, opposition went to talk with the government, they call it the Bipartisan Talk. I think it's also another confirmation that everything that is involving political aspect of it, we need to be very careful because often they always end up in premium tiers. Now, if you look at these two sides, they have reached a dead end. And you know, when you reach a dead end, there are things that will erupt. First of all, enmity will erupt. You know, political showdown will erupt. Like in this case, when we were dealing with a political process, this activity was very much political. Political conversation will erupt, and then we'll have propaganda coming up, and at the same time, we will have name callings. Okay? So 4 things which we have now seen coming up because we have reached a dead end in the Bipartisan Talk. And there is nothing we can do about it. There is little that on their side they will try to do unless God comes comes through for us. We might still continue to see them progressing, but I want us to look at what is now going to happen. I want to give you key deductions and the forecast of what is going to happen because this is now going to be very serious. If you are very keen politically, you might have noted that things have shifted. There is a shift that has taken place, and this shift is bringing new development. So meaning if the negotiation process reach a dead end and they reach the third step where you either, you know, complete the negotiation process as having reached an agreement, or if you do not have an agreement, you just have to go and complete it or halt the processes. At that point, whatever we are seeing now is a confirmation that these guys were not agreeing. These guys were not presenting value that they can exchange between them, between the two sides, so that at the end of the day, they will come up with a productive outcome or a positive outcome that people will rely upon. So when you look at Raila Odinga, the way he is releasing dossiers, the way he is unearthing the nitty-gritties in the government, you know, you will not be thinking of him as a man who, on the other side, is going back to try to create a truce with the same government. You know, you will not be thinking of him as a man who is seeking to be at par or in tandem with the government. Totally different. So that is one side, that is one shift that has taken place. And when you look at Raila Odinga, he is the head of everything here. Any political discourse that he will take will determine how these processes are handled and even the outcome that we are actually supposed to see. So for this case, the shift that Raila Odinga brought, the shift that he has actually brought out is very vivid enough to showcase to us or to tell us completely that let us not expect anything that these guys are going to do. Now, if you look at the government side, the same thing, because the government is now appearing to be incensed by how Raila Odinga is unearthing issues, kind of trying to taint the government as black as possible. The government is now coming and saying, okay, we are not going to proceed. It's like just thumping with a rejoinder, right? Because they know they are the ones who are holding the better part of the, meeting of grievances in the bipartisan talk. If they refuse, they will see Azimio going back to the street. The government will always try to use force to curb everything. Now, if Azimio is kind of wasting time in the bipartisan talk, then it is the government that is enjoying, because they are using the tactic of let's make them buy time and we continue being operational as the government without any disturbance. They are also coming out to just stamp. And that is the reason why you will be hearing the likes of Kimani Ichungwa saying blatantly well that we are not even there in the bipartisan talk. If you thought we were there, Ndidi Nyoro was saying that if they thought we were even so much concentrated there, we want to tell them we are not. And it is confirming to what Rigathi Gachagua said in Meru, that Mr. President, this bipartisan talk is just a waste of time. And he really rebuked the boss why Ruto allowed for the bipartisan talk to continue. Now, the man who is going to benefit out of this is none other than Riggy G, because if this bipartisan talk falls with a thud, Riggy G is appearing to be a man who is always ready for violence, okay? Yeye hataki maneno ya kuongea, okay? So he's always wanting to be at loggerheads with the opposition. He doesn't want calmness in the nation, okay? He doesn't want serenity. He wants to always get a moment of speaking here about the opposition. So if the bipartisan talk goes to its fruition, he will not get his agenda. So when you look at all this, anything that is going to make us see that a future is gloomy based on what we are expecting from the bipartisan talk is concerned, we have started seeing it right now. You also talk of Kalonzo Musyoka, who was actually representing Azimio side. You are seeing him now coming up with Uhuru Kenyatta. And when they go to the ground, they are really, really hitting the government so hard. You will not be trying to convince me that, we as the people will be trying to get something tangible from everything that they told us they are talking about. For the opposition side, they will always come back to people and say, they refused to listen to us in as far as what you wanted is concerned. But politically, perhaps they have benefited. That is the interest that they always fulfill. Both sides, when you talk of the political interest, whether you are in opposition or in government, so long as the interest is being fulfilled, that is the pleasure that they actually derive from everything. So I don't see anything good that is going to come out of this. We used to hear this song that says, look at the angry child. Do you see anything to smile about? You look at our city, you look at our nation, you look at our government, you look at this bipartisan talk. Do you see anything to smile about? Never. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the game of politics. Never ever put politics in your heart. Never trust a politician. Never trust any political process, because you might end up in premium tiers when you are expecting an outcome, but definitely, ultimately, you are disappointed so much. I'll see you next. Have a great time.